Okay, welcome back everyone, Zaf here, it's your Code King of course. As you know, as a creator, we're given missions to do, and once we do those missions, we'll get codes sent to us, and also, really quick, they really need to make this a permanent feature. Let me know in the comments if you agree. I am sick of having to pay for my artifacts. I've been complaining since day one, so please devs, just change this, make this a permanent feature. Everyone would be so happy. So, as I was saying, as a creator, we're given missions, and on those missions, we do have specific tasks. So this time around, let me show you what the mission is. So this time around, I have to do a Battlefield Trials and Battlefield Chaos strategy guide. This is of course up to my own discretion, so I'll give you some tips you can use. And once I do the mission, I'll be getting 3 skill scrolls, that being skill scroll 2s, and also Blessing Stone support chests. These are always pretty good. So let's go ahead and do this mission. That way everyone can get this reward, but to get this reward and every other reward you see here, so Essence Stones, 1,000 of them, 200 Rune Fragments, 500 Essence Stones, and 5 Gate Keys, to get these rewards, all you need to do, sorry about that. All you need to do is support us. The link is down below. Once you do start supporting us, I can send you codes directly, which will be sent to your My Page section when you're logged in using your account. So you go to the section, you press My Page. Once you're in the My Page section, press Supporter. And once you press Supporter, you scroll down right here, Receive Benefits. Every single code I send you will be right here. So please make sure you are supporting. I have so many extra codes to give out. Literally tens of thousands of codes left, so make sure you support, otherwise you are missing out on a lot of free goodies. And also, real quick congrats to Hownigue for the first comment on our last video yet again. Here is your shout out and enjoy your juicy Discord roll, and it looks like Zaf's virus is in the comment as well. It's crazy how we're infecting usernames too. The game is on clearly to get that rank number 1 spot in our comments. So when it comes to the Battlefield Trials and the Battlefield Chaos, there are 2 things you have to consider. First off, if we go to the Battlefield Chaos, generally speaking, they are quite easy to do. If you follow this right here, once you jump in, you can see the Elemental type weakness, where you get 150% bonus damage essentially, where your Elemental type damage deals 150%, so it's a must. But for Dark Days, for example, not everyone has a cranked out Libora. You have to use other units, and that's totally okay. But for those days where you're matching the element, I suggest carrying weapons that do provide a bonus to your hunters, because generally speaking, your hunters are dealing the bulk of the damage, as we've seen with the guild boss. So I do recommend weapons like Moonshadow if you have a 2A5 for example, or Grimoire if you're matching the elemental type, because the A1 bonus gives us 24% weakness damage to the target, of course, very OP. And one weapon that is totally slept on is right here, the juicy Grilled Skewer, my favorite weapon, seriously. It is so good. Look, at the A5 bonus, which everyone can get, it is a free weapon after all, increases team members' fire damage by 10% when within the area. Who cares about that? If you're not running a fire team, what's the matter? If you're not running a fire team, that doesn't matter at all, but look at this. Increases team members' damage dealt by 10% when within the area, making it one of the best support weapons in the game. And it's kind of funny because we mentioned support weapon. As of right now, Junwoo is a support unit. Yes, that's right. It's kind of a shame, but it is what it is. So this weapon does work great for the Battlefield Chaos. And make sure to run at least one support that does provide at least some heals or shields, or other units that provide shields as well, like Jiwoo. She's another great unit here. Breaks are vital for the stage, so Jiwoo is actually one of the best units you can use for this, depending on your advancements of course, but matching the elemental type is the preferred way to get the most damage possible. Also, you want to focus on hunters that do have AoE, such as Emma, providing a ton of AoE effects. Same thing with Alicia, tons of AoE, tons of damage, freezes, etc. She's just so good. You can use Handsome as well. She'll make sure you don't die. Same for your hunters, actually one of the better units for the stage. So you do have a ton of options. I would say Cha isn't the best for this run. Same with someone like Wu. There are better options out there. You want AoE and bonus utility. They're both good at something though, like Cha, she's good at damage dealing, generally though on single targets, unless you can land the ultimate on multiple targets, and get these stacks off, or with Wu, he's good at breaking single targets, not really AoE breaking, that's the issue. But I digress, we have Min as well. He's a fantastic support, giving your entire team a buff, and if you have him to A5, even better, giving you ultimate damage, which is quite nice on someone like Alicia, when she gets her ultimate off, for example, or maybe even someone like Cha, if you manage to hit all the targets. But that's just my tips for the Battlefield Chaos. When it comes to the Battlefield Trials, that's a different story. Now, when it comes to the Battlefield Trials, honestly speaking, you're just trying to run your best team possible. Otherwise, the runs will be hard. In most cases, there is no recommend element. Actually, I don't think there is at all. Let me just check. We're going through all these stages. Yeah, no recommend elements. So you're just stealing base damage. There's no tricks when it comes to that. The same thing applies to your hunters. Make sure you just use your best team possible. No recommended element. And I know I've been very lazy with my trials. Haven't done them. But when it comes to the challenge, elements do matter a lot here. As you can see this time, we need Dark. Dark is vital for this. So making sure you match the correct weapon type. On this stage, something like Plum, something like Scythe, or even the new weapon, the Zeke's Fragment, will be perfect, so make sure you just match up. Otherwise, your damage will be nerfed. And let me tell you for a fact, you won't beat these stages if you don't have the recommend element, unless you're super juiced, like I'm talking whale level juiced. Battlefield Trials is not easy. They made it much harder, especially the last two stages. They made it quite hard. The golem, every single person does complain about. So make sure you bring the right team. You need a lot of break. Break is a must. So on these stages, you want a lot of dark break. So Dong Suck would be good. Lim would be good as well. But you have to make sure you meet the power requirements too. Otherwise, your damage will be nerfed. So it is a balancing act. These stages are not simple. You also want to make sure you bring the right blessing. So Pulverize would be very good for this run, giving you bonus break. One break is kind of hard to come by. Also, getting a global cooldown reduction is pretty good. And more damage never hurts. You need a ton of attack to deal enough damage to beat someone like the Golem towards the very end. So damage and utility, you need that mix, otherwise you won't make it through. And for skills, you always want to go for the overbreak skill if they have a break gauge, otherwise you won't go through the defenses. But yeah, I just want to provide those very general tips, showing you each round would not be a good use of time. Just make sure to bring enough break, match the elements, that way you'll be set for success. Otherwise, you'll have a very tough time, and it's not going to be fun at all. And yes, again, I am very lazy with these. I'll do them. I usually wait towards the end, but I'll do them ASAP. I know for a fact I don't want to let's see, what was the reward here? I think it's a mana power extract. Yeah, you do not want to lose this award. These are so hard to come by. And there we go. We beat mission number 4. So again, do not forget to support us. We're almost at the 12,000 supporter mark. No one else is even close to our number because I give the most number of codes and I make sure every single person does get a code. So if you enjoy the video, make sure you subscribe. That way I do know you want more content like this. Leave a comment with any questions or concerns, and do drop a like. This was your Code King Zaf, signing out.